Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. What do you do when you don't have any chipboard? Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel, and thank you so much for choosing to spend a portion of your day with me. I am so grateful to each and every one of you for supporting my channel and for supporting me. So I use chipboard on my channel a lot. What do you do when you don't have any chipboard? So make sure that you stick around for this entire video because I am going to show you 4 awesome substitutions for a chipboard. So if you don't have any chipboard, don't worry, because you'll be able to make those awesome projects. So y'all know what time it is. It's time to get started. All right, y'all, so here's the deal. If you don't have chipboard, all is not lost because you don't have to have chipboard to do my projects. You can pull things that might be in your home and use that for your projects. I'm going to show you 4 different ways that you can get chipboard consistency if you don't have actual chipboard. So way number 1 is probably one of the quickest and easiest ways to get some chipboard. We all probably have a paper pad or 2. So what I used to do, so I would take that back cover, which is thicker than the paper inside, but not that firm. And we can take this piece, and I'm just going to trim this. Making sure that it's 12 by 12, and then I'm going to cut it down to 12 by 6. So let's say you wanted to make this embellishment book. We can take these 2 pieces, and I'm just going to use my tape to double stack these. And I'm going to go all the way across, and this is just going to give you an idea of different ways that you can get the project. And then I'm going to remove my tape. Save my tape backers because y'all know I can use those. Then I'm going to take my second piece and I'm going to match it to the first one, trying to get it pretty matched. It might not be exact, but it'll be close enough. So now I'm just going to come back in and clean this up just a little bit. And so now I have double stacked this. It doesn't have the exact firmness of chipboard, but I can now cut this down to 5 by 6. And then I can cut my spine to 1.5. And now I have what I need right here to be able to make this, this, and this. This is what I used the chipboard on the outer part of this project. I used the medium weight chipboard. This is going to give me a nice consistency, especially once you put the paper on top. So that is way number 1, that we are able to get some chipboard when we don't necessarily have chipboard. And if you're interested in knowing how I made this book, I will have it linked in the description box below. So another quick and easy way to get some chipboard is just to go through your pantry and use some of the boxes that you might have that are close to being emptied or are emptied. And I am just going to take this one apart. So I went along. So on that glue flap, I took it apart. And then we'll take it apart on the bottom. And we'll take it completely apart. Now this already has a shape that would be perfect for turning it into a journal. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and just trim this down so that you guys can see that journal look, I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to trim it. I'll take this piece and I'm going to trim it. Then I'll take this piece, trim off some of that ugly. Take this piece and I am going to trim this to 5 by 6. And now you have all of these pieces left. You could actually take these smaller pieces and cut them down into tag shapes. Or you can do as I'm about to do, and that is discard them, but I will be putting them in my recycle bin. So now, as you can see, I have another way that I can make this book. The only difference being my spine would be 2 inches instead of 1.5. But this is a great start for making this type of a book. And once you layer it with your outer liner and your inside liner, so once you layer it with your outside cover and the inside liner, you're going to have a nice sturdy base that you can use to turn into something like this. So we now have 2 ways that we can make the jacket for this. And then my third way is simply a shoebox. We are going to deconstruct a shoebox to get some more chipboard. So I am simply going to trim this. So I am just trimming this. And then I'll trim on this end. And so I'm going to trim here, but this time I'm going to be trimming at 11 so that I can get rid of these end pieces. And so now we can take this and go ahead and trim. And instead of being 6 inches, it is going to be 5 1/4. Because I am going to trim away these outer pieces. And again, we can save these because look at how sturdy these are. This is a great way, and you can hear that chipboard feel already. This is just as sturdy as my normal chipboard. So now we would have this piece. I would go ahead and put it in at 4 3/4. Doing a very light pass through so I can break up those fibers just a little bit, and then I would do that as well. And so now I can take this and bend it just like we did the other one, and we have a third way of getting one of these. Now this time, because it was smaller, my embellishment book would be smaller, but you're still able to make an embellishment book using a shoebox. So that is way number 3, that if you don't have chipboard, let's get creative and let's start looking at what we do have and what we can turn into chipboard. And my last demo is going to be a USPS mailing box. Now, I have to say this up front. As you can see, this was actually shipped. So I am not using a brand new, never before used mailer. So you can see that this was mailed by scrapbook.com. So for those of you who have received some of these, save them if you don't have chipboard and use them as your chipboard. So please, under no circumstances should you go to the post office and get brand new, unused mailing boxes for the purposes of using them in our crafts. That is just one of those things that we should not be doing. If you've received one, it is okay to do whatever you want to do with it. Going to the post office or ordering these just for the purposes of crafting, we really shouldn't be doing that. So I have already trimmed this one to 12 by 11 1/2. So I am going to go ahead on the 12-inch side and reduce this to 6 by 11 1/2. And then I'm just going to trim that. And now I have 2 of these that I can use to make my jacket. So I am going to show you the process again. So we're going to take this and I'm going to do a light score. I'll rotate it and we'll do another like score. And all we're doing is scoring so that we can break up the fibers. If we didn't score and we tried to bend it without scoring, sometimes that's a little bit too tense and might cause it to crack. So now I can just take this and we're just going to squeeze it like that. And now we have our fourth way of being able to create an embellishment book jacket, a journal jacket, whatever it is you want to use it for. We did 4 different ways, and here's how we did it. On this one, I actually cut it into pieces so that you could see how easily we can cut these if you wanted to lay these out and not score through and fold. So there's one way that we can get it. Then we took just a regular old box from the pantry and we cut it, and now we have it in book form. So once we add our paper to this, we're going to get a nice thick consistency and we'll be able to make a beautiful embellishment box. The same goes for this box from the postal system. And it's already a very durable box because it has to be. But once we add paper to this, it becomes even more rigid and sturdier. So that is way number 3. And then way number 4, a shoebox. We took a regular old shoebox and cut it down, and now we're able to use it in book form as well. So the whole point of this little exercise is to show you that a lot of times I'm using chipboard and I will have multiple comments saying I don't have chipboard, but you probably have something in your home that is a suitable alternative. So this will just give you an idea of the types of things to look for if you don't have the actual chipboard itself. So we all know that I haven't covered every way that we could possibly get chipboard alternatives. So leave some comments below letting me know some of the things you would use as chipboard. Guys, I hope that this has been helpful and informative. If it has, please hit that like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.